Hey friend, I just wanted to do one more recap video about this Once Upon a Farm advent calendar for 2020. So as you can see, everything's opened up. I did a video on each day. If you were interested to find out all the different information that came with each oil, I read the little cards that it came with, and most of the time I tried to show you the little charms that it came with, but in all honesty, these are so small, yeah, it didn't pick up the picture very well. So I just wanted to recap though each of the oils here. I know you don't see them sitting here in front of me, but I just wanted to show them really quick to you, and then talk about at the end the investment of everything that I put into it, and then what I got out of it as far as from an investment point of view. So if you haven't realized this by watching some of my other videos, my personality tends to be very red-green. So that just usually means that I really deal with numbers. I'm a math teacher, by the way. So if you didn't know that, that numbers really speak to me, especially when we're talking about time or money, investment purposes. And so and some of the pros and cons about this advent calendar versus ones from years past. So just very briefly, I'm going to go through the oils that we got. Now, we knew ahead of time, if you were conscientious about it, we knew that there were going to be 25 boxes or 25 days opened, and that there would be 4 days without some type of product in it. So if you're kind of keeping track and you're like, hey, wait a minute, you're missing 4 of them, we did know that there were 4 days that there were going to be no product, and it was just going to be a charm. So that was kind of told to us ahead of time. A lot of people were saying they were a little disappointed because there was only a charm in behind a closed or a door. If they were paying attention, they knew that ahead of time. So here we go. All right, so the first one was KidSense Genius. So let's see if we can get some focus in there. So KidSense Genius. Then day 2 was 15 milliliter of juniper, and then clary sage, and then grounding, and then a 15 milliliter of lemongrass, 5 milliliter of release, 5 milliliters of freedom, which was a great oil. This comes actually in 2 different types of wrap or a label. So the 5 milliliter looks like this, and then the 15 milliliter, if you've bought that before, it comes in a darker blue color. Valor, one of my favorites. I love me some Valor. Peace and Calming too. Sage, which I don't think I've ever seen sage in a 15 milliliter like this, but that's a big thing of sage. Then Loyalty, which if you've watched my videos, Loyalty is usually only an oil that you get for being on Essential Rewards. That's our subscription program, monthly subscription program. That also bothered some people that normally this is only an oil that you can get because of that. And so that really bothers some people that they could get it in the kit, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And then orange. 15 milliliter of orange, 5 milliliter of RC, Stress Away, yeah, who didn't need that during this time, and Limi, so, which is sometimes known as a poor man's frankincense, great for the skin, by the way. Myrrh, also great for the skin. Waken, Vitality Bergamot. We have a Vitality line, by the way, if you weren't aware, you're like, hey, what's the white label? This one is labeled specifically to be used and ingested. So per our FDA guidelines, the oil's no different, but per our FDA guidelines, if we say, hey, you can ingest that, it needs a white label. And then our roll-on of Breathe Again, which is an amazing roll-on. And then the second to last day, I think we got Ningxia Red Packet, one of our products that I love. And then finally on Christmas Day, we got 15 milliliters of Christmas Spirit. So quite a few different oils, quite a variety of different oils. You probably saw a lot of different colors show up. Colors kind of can mean something. I notice a lot of feeling oils have to do with more of a purple background. That's just my 2 cents. But yeah, there's quite the variety in here. Some of these are higher end oils. Some of them are relatively inexpensive oils, such as orange. But there wasn't really, I mean, they didn't like just give like lemon, lavender, peppermint, those kind of basic oils all the time. So there was quite a good mix of oils, being somebody who has been dealing with oils for a while. I purchased this calendar. Actually, I should say my husband purchased this calendar for me as a wholesale member. So we got it for $275. And sorry, my dogs are chiming in. To my best calculations, because some of these we don't normally buy. Like, I couldn't buy Christmas Spirit in a 15 milliliter. That's kind of special for this particular situation. So I had to estimate, knowing what the price was of a 5 milliliter. Does that make sense? So to the best of my estimate, without loyalty, because loyalty doesn't have a price tag. I can't find anybody who would tell me what the price would be or the equivalent would be for this oil. So without loyalty, $426.69 as a wholesale member. As a retail member, because you don't have to be a member to buy and purchase Young Living products, you can purchase them as a retail member. Dog is chiming in. Of course, it's more, but it's $561.28 would be the purchase price. So almost $200 more product wise is what I got. And that's not even counting the charms or the necklace or even the box or anything like that as far as the investment. All right, pros and cons. So I will be honest, this box is probably going to be thrown away right after this video is done. I loved the idea of having the information come out and I could read this or see a picture of it. But as you see, it is, I don't know, it just wasn't as well made as past advent calendars. I mean, you can see it's kind of floppy and everything like that. The past other two advent calendars that I have purchased from Young Living, I still have the boxes. They're gorgeous. They're beautifully made, well tailored, well made, hard, really, I mean, not just that hard paper or cardstock, but it's definitely was made not as well as the other ones in the past, and that's okay. I don't think I need to really be keeping all of these boxes, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, some people were a little upset by that. Other people, like I said, were upset about the loyalty, about the fact that this was given to people who weren't necessarily on Essential Rewards. That, I think that's all a personal preference, or not. My only real complaint is that I got to the point where I started putting the charms on or in this bag because there got to be too many of them. I mean, they would just really hang really heavy on the chain, and I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to try to find another chain and try to somehow do something else with them. Other people who run different teams had some great different ideas about what to do with them. And I will say probably my only complaint would be the fact that they're really super small. I mean, and that's okay, they're charms, but I had a really hard time trying to figure out what it was that was imprinted on the charm. So maybe it's just my old eyes. I'm not going to complain too much. So as far as an investment purpose, definitely well worth the investment. I would encourage you, if this is something that you are like, I don't have $275 just sitting in my checkbook. Neither did we. This is my birthday present. This is my one and only birthday present every year. And even still, I mean, it's still an expensive birthday present. I totally understand that, but this is something that I look forward to and we save up for every year. I would encourage you to do so. You definitely are going to get well worth it. I mean, it simply is. Now, last year, they only did, I believe, 15 days or 12 days advent calendar. And so I think some people were a little like, what am I supposed to do with this? The first 12 days or 12 days until Christmas? There was a lot of mix up with last year's calendar. And so this is, I think, why they went back to the 25 days. But certainly I think this was less expensive than the very first calendar that I purchased, which was also a full 25 days. So anyway, there's some pros and cons for that. The pluses and minuses. Honestly, I hope you start saving up for 2021 calendar or whatever year you're watching this at. It was definitely well worth it. It's fun. I know some people who open up every single day on that day. Or they will open up every single window on the very first day. That is completely and totally up to you and your traditions and your household, of course. I just ask that if that's what you do, please don't ruin it for the rest of us who open up one day at a time. I was really good to make sure that I stayed clear of media before I opened mine up so that it was a surprise for me, but that's just something I knew ahead of time. So anyway, I hope that has been helpful for you. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to comment, message me. As always, I'm here to help and I would love to be assistance to you. All right, till next time, bye-bye.